Happy Wednesday. It is July 2nd, Wednesday. First stream of the month. I took off yesterday to touch some grass and went on a nice walk. Got rained on 3 times. And yeah, I'm feeling a little bit bleh today, but we've got work to do. The first thing is making sure I shared that the stream is going on. So, I think my audio is all good. Yeah, anyway. Welcome, my name is Jen Schiffer, this is my stream. If you are live, thank you for joining me live. If you're watching the VOD later, thank you for watching the VOD later. Say hi in the comments or find me on social. So, there's a bit to go over today, but a recap of what's been going on in June is that several weeks ago, glitch.com announced that they're shutting project hosting down, and that project hosting shuts down next week on Tuesday. Got less than a week to go, and over the past month, I've been streaming mostly Monday through Thursdays as I triage my over 700 active projects and find places to migrate them to. And just try to spread the word so as many people as possible in the community can know that this is happening. And we've been widely successful to a fault. Just about every day that I stream now, I get somebody saying, oh, I had no idea this is happening until today. So I'm doing my job, my unpaid labor, but as long as it leads to less surprises, because I feel like on Tuesday next week, it's going to be a bad day for a lot of people. And as someone who personally hates surprises, I like to avoid other people being surprised. Although, again, I know it's not my job. My therapist is always like, it's not your job. But that's me being a community member. You can take the girl out of the job, but you cannot take the community management ability out of the girl. So, yeah, we're less than a week away. So what I've been doing today is writing down a blog post of my final recommendations for where I'm putting my glitch projects. So, let's take a look at that. I'm also realizing that the card above says rehoming my node apps. So let's switch that, and I'll show you how. So let's display. Cool. I have Live Laugh blog open here, but let's open up .com. This is my main site, jenschiffer.com, hosted on DigitalOcean's app marketplace. It's a static site, just no framework or service, just HTML. And that card above me that says rehoming my node apps is an app that used to be on Glitch called Live Laugh Blah. So I'm going to open that. And I'm going to say status. Let's see. My status is Lee. And I can preview this. I'm using the Nova editor by Panic, which is a local editor. It's not a web-based editor. In past streams, I've used Glitch, which is a web-based editor. And I'll talk about other web-based editor options today. Okay, I want it all to be one line. Talking glow. Cool. And I could also make this like a preview on the sidebar here if I want to. Okay, so I'm gonna save this locally. There's a visual get interface. I'm going to stage that file, commit message, and then deploy that. It's updating a GitHub repo for jenschiffer.com, and that will trigger a deployment on DigitalOcean's app marketplace. And we can test that out actually. Let's open up a new, let's open up here. Let's go to, I don't have live laugh blah here. This thing here on Firefox drives me crazy. Let's go to glitch/live laugh blah. Talking post glitch host. So it worked. So now I use Streamlabs for all my streaming overlays. I'm pointing to my second monitor, which has Streamlabs, the chat, and whatever over here. And like this is my main computer. So I'm gonna look over here, and in Streamlabs, I have it as a title card. I can refresh the widget, and now we correctly are describing what I am doing. And that's it. Hey Stefan, you click on that Firefox all the time? Yeah, it's this little thing here drives me crazy, but Jackie in a prior stream taught me how to remove the like AI feature from it, because it was like you open it and it was like AI or bookmarks or whatever, and I was able to remove that. So now it's just bookmarks. So I'm just going to figure out how to make this more useful to me, but turn on vertical tabs? What does that mean? Oh no. Turn off. You'll be honest with me, I have very beautiful hair. Thank you. I grew it myself. Oh no. It turned back on this thing. Oh, what a nightmare. Wait. Turn. Customize sidebar. Okay, there we go. AI. What if I turn off everything? Then it's nothing. That's really great. How do you remove it from the toolbar? Oh, you click remove from toolbar. Thank you. Oh, live, laugh, love. Today's drinks of the day. I only have two. I have my sugar-free iced tea lemonade water, and then we're low on coffee beans, and I want enough for tomorrow morning. So today, for afternoon, I'm just having a black tea with honey in my Brookside Market mug. Shouts out to Sunnyside, Queens. We used to go there all the time in the morning, and we got a mug before he moved. So how's everyone doing today? I think it's hot outside. My body is like, ugh. Well, high 84. That's not bad. I had a hard time waking up this morning, but not waking up. I had a hard time getting out of bed and staying awake. Socket asks, where are you from? I'm coming to you from sunny, humid Jersey City, New Jersey. And I'm from the area. I've never lived outside of a 12-mile radius of where I was born in South Brooklyn. Where are y'all from? Okay. So we got this out of the way. So let's talk about hosting options. Also, if the music is too intense, let me know. I can't tell how loud it is in the background, but I do know that I chose another like royalty-free punk playlist because the music's insane. But I don't know how conducive it is to talking over. But yeah. So I'm writing a post on Live Laugh blog, which is my blog. Music seems good? Good. So I write this post on Glitch Alternatives, and Live Laugh blog is an 11T site. It's also an app that is hosted on DigitalOcean. Used to be Glitch. Here we are right here. Are you talking to me? I don't even remember saying your name, Sanket. Sorry. Also, I'm not a bro. But yeah, I apologize. Oh, you're from India. What's the time over there? We're in completely different time zones. It's 3:18 p.m. here. So here's Live Laugh blog. This is the latest post, and it's an 11T site. I go into this because I'm going to share the code with you and how I like write blogs on it. But I have a new blog post coming soon called Glitch Alternatives. 12:48 a.m. Burning the Midnight Oil on YouTube. Nice. So we have... I'm actually going to show you what I have so far. So I'm going to run this locally. I've been using... This blog is over 5 years old, so there's lots of posts. But it's a static generated site. And here is what I'm talking about. So I'm writing a post of my postglitch.com hosting options, including important dates that people should know, like July 8th, next week as I write this, is when project hosting and user profiles are shutting down. So you'll, I believe, still be able to go glitch.com, but only like the dashboard will be useful. You won't be able to create projects. You won't be able to look at user profiles or playlists and stuff like that. So that stuff is going away. But you'll have until December 31st, end of this year, to use your Glitch dashboard and download all of your projects and manage and create redirects. So in a prior stream, I moved my WebSocket server for presence or bugs to on render. Render is the service, but the URL is onrender.com. And so now if you go to presence or bugs.glitch.me, it should take us to the render app, and we're going to get to see, we didn't see in the stream where I used render last week, we didn't see on stream what an app waking up a render looks like. So here we go. Move it over here. So just like Glitch, inactivity on a project on render leads to it falling asleep. And then when you make a request to it again, the application like is waking up. And it could take up to Forget what they say up to. It's generally less than a minute. It's comparable to Glitch. With Glitch, you were able to like kind of draw on the background. Oh, I accidentally put a extra thing here, but here we go. Look at that. Oh, there's multiples of us in here. I'm gonna make myself eat the bug. Anyway, if you want to see that prior stream, look for the thumbnail of the face with the bug. I linked to it in this new blog post coming out too. Because what I did is I went through all the options of hosting platforms and links to it, and also if I streamed using it, a link to that stream so you can see somebody trying it out in case you would rather watch than do it yourself. So, yeah. So now I have that redirect. Fragile says, thinking of moving my stuff to DO static sites. That's a great option. So, I'll get to how I'm using DigitalOcean static sites, and actually the first stream in my glitch migration playlist is me kind of walking through my dashboard. But yeah, so you'll be able to manage and set those redirects and download your glitch projects through the end of this year. I have to fix this quote, so let me do that. I don't want to have you read Markdown while I'm... So then, you'll, at end of the year, that's when like things fully shut down. You're not gonna be able to download your projects. You're not gonna be able to manage redirects. But the team says in the official blog announcement that they'll keep the redirects active at least through December 31st, 2026. So I'll get asked, what's the US IT market? Because right now in India, it's very challenging. It's very challenging here too. I don't really have my finger on the pulse so much with IT as I do web development, but I feel like IT is doing a bit better than software development right now. But it is still kind of struggling. It's kind of like they're so coupled together, and a lot of companies have been doing like layoffs and cost cutting right now. But I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been in the IT space in quite some time. So, yeah. Those are there might be other dates I'm not sure about. People have been asking in the forum questions. People have been asking me, when's the forum or blog gonna shut down? And again, I don't know. I don't work there anymore. But my guess is that the blog will keep going, but like won't be updated, because it's basically free for them to run. But I know that I know how much the forum costs. And I think anybody who uses Discourse, which is the forum, knows how much it probably costs. It's a few $100s a month. So I imagine they'll keep the forum until the end of the year. Fastly is the company that owns Glitch, and Fastly has a Discourse forum. I know this because I set it up. And so they'll probably, I imagine, create like a glitch category and have people like come here. I don't know. I have recommendations and thoughts, but again, I don't work there. So then some glitch specific links. If you have many projects, some people only have 3 projects, and you can mainly download them. But if you have a lot, one of the engineers on the team, Pomax, made a bulk downloader script that you can run. It's free to use. It goes into everything that you need for it, and it will export all of your projects into 2 folders, active and inactive. And it will include the assets. And I'll show you this because I've run it myself. let's, where is it? So here's a folder here. So I ran it twice. Last time I ran it was on June 10th, and this is what it looks like. So wherever you put the download.py script, you open your terminal to there, you run it, it will create two folders, active and archive, because on Glitch you can have two kinds of projects, active ones or archived. You're not going to be able to change whether they're active or archived after July 8th, if I can recall correctly. Somebody had asked that question. And also, you're not going to be able to change redirects after the end of the year. Here's a good thread. This is support.glitch.com, the Glitch community forum. If you have any questions, like, go there and ask. The team has been really good at, like, responding to them. So ability to set redirects will support till the end of 2025. Changing after that won't be possible. If any of these seem unclear, push them on that. Because I know that a lot of, like, this is, like, a fairly, like, rushed shutdown. Not only just from my perspective, but from people I've talked to at Fastly. There are open-ended, unanswered questions that have to come from the community for them to know the answers, because the broad majority of Fastly do not know how Glitch runs or even uses Glitch. Like, they've, like, siloed it quite a bit from everything else. And so operationally, they, like, don't have the range to know some of the stuff. But the few people still on the team, like Ali, for example, know what's going on. But yeah, so if you want to have redirects for your projects, they have to be active, and you gotta reactivate it before Tuesday. It's my understanding, and if I'm wrong, somebody on the team will respond, and I'll update this blog post. But I have my active folder here of my projects, and what's great about the export tool versus, say, clicking download is when you click download in the dashboard or within the editor of a project, and the editor won't be active after next week, I believe. It does not include assets. Assets is a feature in the Glitch editor where if you drag an image into the editor, it puts it into a little assets section. Those files are not part of your project download when you manually download it. What you'll get in the download is a .glitch assets file, which is a JSON file that has URLs to those assets, which are in a separate S3 bucket from your code. And so if you want an export of your assets and you don't want to have to do it manually by going to each link, this export script that Pomax made will include a folder called Glitch Assets and download those assets there. Hey Lachlan, when are you publishing the blog post? I want to share with friends. I am publishing it as soon as Button Down unsuspends my newsletter account, which I'll get into. So hopefully today, I wanted to publish it before the stream, but I ran into a little issue, which I should be actively checking my email to get updates on. But yeah, not yet. I'll get into why Button Down, the newsletter service, is involved in this. So yeah, so you want those assets. Now, if you are like, what the hell is, like, Python? Why, like, do I need this stuff? That's absolutely totally fair. Like, if terminal stuff's not in your lane, Poch, who I used to manage on the former community engineering team, took Pomax's script and made an Electron app, a graphical app that you can download to do the exporting for you. So it literally does the same thing as Pomax's script, except all you have to do is download the app and run it. It's visual. He had a cute emoji to it. It lists all the projects, I believe, in alphabetical order. You can just scroll through and download which ones instead of downloading all of them, but literally does the same thing. And I've run that too, and it works great. So that I'm linking to my blog post, and it's also here in the glitch forum. If you search Potch, it's his latest thread. But yeah, and if you have questions or like feature requests, pop it in there. Potch is happy to help out folks, which is very nice. I mentioned redirects, so once you move your projects, they'll have a new URL off of Glitch, like my presents or bugs is now presentsorbugs at onrender.com. So you're able to set redirects for your glitch.me subdomains to your new service. So Casey on the team, everyone on the glitch team, there's only a few of them, they're all legends. Casey and the team added to the dashboard this ability to add these redirects, talks through how it works, things you should know, query string kind of stuff. And the query string works. Like, for example, I have a project called WebWing, which was my like WebRing-esque app that I never really talked too much about. I made it shortly before I left Fastly. But I migrated over to jenschiffer.com, and in order to turn it on, there's a query parameter. And so you can add query parameters here. So webwing.glitch.me goes to my WebRing page and turns the WebRing on, and you're able to navigate through. These are static glitch apps that I've been migrating into my site. Important stuff. I've been doing that over the past few streams, so you can always catch up on stuff like that there. Finally, again, go to the Glitch Community Forum. There's discussions about the shutdown, if you want answers straight from the Glitch engineering team. If you contact like support, like support@glitch.com, it goes into Fastly support stuff. So you probably won't get like a response soon. I've been hearing that they're very backlogged, and also those are people who are not experts on the space like the Glitch engineering team and the community are. So ask in the Glitch forum, but very importantly, be fucking nice to them. The shutdown is not the Glitch engineering team's fault. It impacts them at least as much as it does all of you. If you are frustrated about it, that's fair. Go on Twitter and tag the Fastly account. Or go on LinkedIn and find the executives at the company and share it with them your displeasure at this. But don't be rude or nasty with the Glitch team or the community in the forum. Okay. Can I put these links into the chat? They'll be in the blog post, but sure. Let me add the bulk downloading script. That's Potch's thing. And the redirect URLs. Cool. Okay. How's everyone doing? If you haven't had a sip of water, now's the time. Okay. So here are the alternatives that I am using, and if you've been following me on the stream the past month, you have seen these because I've shown them live. So first is DigitalOcean. I have been using DigitalOcean since 2013, 2014. It's been a decade. So it's not something I've had to sign up for a new account for, but I've tried to sign up for new accounts for all these services if I've had them for a while, just to see what the onboarding experience is like. Because I want to find things that are comparable to glitch, because things that are free do not require a credit card before you even get to see anything. Do they have an in-browser web editor? If not, like, how do you edit? More often than not, you edit like I just did with genshifter.com at the beginning of the stream. I make an edit, I push to a Git repo, and that triggers a deployment somewhere. But like trying to find things that, even though I am an advanced web developer, I'm a former sysadmin, DevOps engineer, a lot of the glitch community do not have that background, and that's why they came to Glitch did the DevOps for you. You didn't have to be a server administrator. That was like kind of the magic and wonder and joy of Glitch. So while there's nothing out there that's exactly like Glitch, what are the options that are out there that can get you closer to that experience? So it has to be affordable, accessible to a wide range of experience. And then also, of course, because it's me, I want to look at what's the community like? What is their community strategy? Because Glitch is not only a great place to build apps, but it was also a place to share and discover. So DigitalOcean is a hosting platform, and I've used it to host Node apps. Actually, I used DigitalOcean to host my projects before I went to Fog Creek to help launch Glitch. And from that point in 2017, Glitch was my primary host because it was there. It was my job. You know, it was the best. It felt like a cheat code to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing like DevRel and community engineering for a platform where you can basically build anything, because it enabled full stack apps. Like, there was no community platform that enabled you to view source of server side files. And so before that, DigitalOcean was where I was deploying all of my sites. As of today, Live Laugh blog, genshifter.com, my pixel art editor, Make 8-Bit Art, and my candle store, launching next week, are static sites on DigitalOcean. genshifter.com and Make8bitart.com do not have any framework. Bugs Rocks and Live Laugh blog are 11T static sites. And they're running on DigitalOcean's app platform. For DigitalOcean's app platform, the first three static sites that you deploy are free, and then the fourth one costs me like $3 a month. You can create an account and see what the dashboard looks like, look at the community platform and all that kind of stuff for free, but at the point you're trying to deploy anything, your first static site or node site, it will require a payment option setup, even if it's a free option. So this isn't a good option for educators who have a classroom full of students and you want them to be able to spin something up, because not every student is going to have a credit card number to sign up for it. So be mindful of that. But if you are a developer, a hobbyist working on your own, if you want to spin up, they have all sorts of containers are like called droplets. You can have a droplet deployed with a service that you already want running. So for example, for a few years I was running a Mastodon instance. Mastodon is a decentralized social media platform. It's an alternative to Twitter or Blue Sky. And I was running my own instance on DigitalOcean for a couple of years, and I was paying about $20 a month for that, but Mastodon is like a beast of a stack of software, lots of moving parts to it. So I feel like while it was fair, I just was like, I don't need to be running my own instance. So if Stefan's still in the chat, Stefan is the administrator for GardenState.social, which is the instance I migrated to. And so I save money, I donate a bit to the GardenState.social Patreon, and I'm still spending less money running static sites on DigitalOcean because it only cost me like $3 a month. With regards to community, DigitalOcean doesn't have like a user profiles following each other, but that doesn't mean that they don't have community. DigitalOcean's community is less about sharing what you've made and more about showing others how to do things. So they were really like kind of pioneers a decade ago in paying community members to write tutorials for their platform. So it's really leans heavily on tutorial content creation. DigitalOcean bought CSS Tricks several years ago, fucked that up, but then like try to unfuck it up. They really are big on like product documentation and tutorials. And so while I would say this is not a good option for the beginner developer by any means, because you might want to focus on how to learn to code and not the whole how to get it online, their community page is a really great resource on tutorials of all different services that you can host on DigitalOcean and all other platforms. So it's a good resource for upskilling in tech and learning all these different kinds of topics. So, and they also do things like Hacktoberfest, is their big like annual hackathon in October, conferences. They have like a startup incubator program, but whether you use DigitalOcean as a host or not, check out their community platform, and especially CSS Tricks. This is like the OG, like this is what got me learning CSS forever ago, and we'll get into the Creator CSS Tricks option for hosting CodePen, of course. But yeah, when I publish this blog, I do have an affiliate link. It's the only, it might be the only affiliate link I have on my blog, and that's because I've just been using DigitalOcean for so long that like, I like recommend it, and I've just been actually using it, so you can like kind of trust me on that stuff. And I haven't had any billing surprises or anything like that. So they do a good job of like showing you like what the bill is so far in the month, because it is usage based oftentimes. And then I have a link to my prior stream where I walked through my own dashboard. Now let me check my email and see if Button Down has unsuspended my account. They said it could take either a few minutes, a couple of minutes, or a few hours. No, okay. Take a sip of water. Okay. CodePen. Let me get CodePen open here. Who here uses CodePen? Say so in the chat. Say what your username is. So, CodePen is great for static projects. It has a built-in web editor, and it's very much community focused. You can follow users and all that stuff like that. I've been using CodePen since its beginning. I went onto my profile, and of course I stopped being as active on it again when I started working on Glitch. This Glitch is my alternative to that. I found this in progress pen that I last saved like 11 years ago called Live Horse Birth, and I was like, Jen, what's going on here? And I didn't finish it, but my settings, there was a description I made for it. Let me see. For whatever reason, I always use JS Fiddle. So JS Fiddle was like it's like CodePen without the community aspect of it. Although you might have been able to follow people, but people weren't making visually interesting things as much on JS Fiddle. It was more of like showing like how I got a thing to work. I had an old project called Vart. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if I had a description on here. Am I not logged in? Oh, I'm not logged in. Oh, you know what? I logged off because I wanted to create a new account to see if you required a credit card to use it. Let me log in. Oh gosh. I accidentally logged in with an email that doesn't have a CodePen account, so I've created a new account. I'm doing this off screen because OPSEC. Okay. Here we go. So you could see with like the thumbnails and stuff that CodePen, their community is usually much more visually interesting than the stuff that I was doing. Again, this is all like pre-2017 work. CodePen was like the place that I was uploading all of my like CSS demos, jokey kind of things like live horse birth. My pal Nick said on meetup.com that at my first Jersey script meetup, he wants to see a live horse birth, so I'm going to make that happen. Shh, it's a secret. And I never did it. Jersey Script is a monthly developer meetup. It's a social meetup that we have here in Jersey City. And it started in 2013, so that's about how old this pen is. So, yeah, there's that. The great thing about CodePen is I think that it is a really good option for educators and students who are working with static projects. You do not need to enter a credit card to create an account and create pens, but they do have a pro subscription that's tailored more for like power users and teachers. So CodePen Pro, you have private pens, asset hosting, collab mode, professor mode, and it's comparable to like a Glitch Pro subscription in price. People who created CodePen, and it's been around for longer than Glitch was, people who created CodePen are great. They have a really cool newsletter. They run challenges. It's one of the blueprints for developer communities that lean heavily towards what I think is most important about the developer community, what people are making, not what developer companies are making for the community. So really love CodePen. You can check them out, and also my username if you want to get updates on the live horse birth is Jen Schiffer. So, and I updated my profile. But yeah. So let's move into some more advanced stuff. Valtown. I did a stream where I migrated my Blue Sky Counting Sheep app from Glitch, which is a full stack app that would be triggered every time the container woke up. I migrated it to Valtown. And so now it doesn't fall asleep. It's just continuously counting sheep every 15 minutes. I've used Valtown in the past for getting a Google Spreadsheets contents and sending it back when my free static glitch site made a fetch call to it. So Valtown is a great like serverless option. If you want to use like a free client-side tool like CodePen, NeoCities, or basically any Jamstack hosting, and you need an API backend because that service doesn't have it, Valtown's great for that. They have multiple kinds of triggering, so HTTP, which is normal for like fetching an API, a cron triggering, so based on time, which is great for bots. So Counting Sheep has a cron trigger of running every 15 minutes. It will grab from blob storage, so Valtown has blob storage, and it will run this every 15 minutes. And if you want to have it run in smaller intervals, like 1 minute, you can subscribe for their pro subscription. This did not require a credit card for me to join and get started. So really, like, try it out if you are like on the fence about it, because it's free. You can't you can also like email triggers and stuff. Like if you have a pro account, you can use Val to like email people. And yeah, really like Valtown, love the people that work on it. They have a great community newsletter that really is like showcasing what the community is making. They have a showcase page so you can see what other people are making. You can remix them just like Glitch. And they also have a PR feature, which is a community feature. You can't follow other users, but remixing and PRs are really nice. I would imagine, I don't know, I haven't asked Steve if they're gonna have following users, but I can see that being something they do in the future. So check that out. My username is Jen Schiffer. So you can see my recent val is that I have 2 of them. One is private. You can have like up to like I think 5 private or unlisted vals. This one's unlisted. This one. This is a val that just gets a Google spreadsheet, and you can set environment variables for like your Google spreadsheet API. And it goes through that spreadsheet and turns all of the information into it into a JSON object. And so I had a Glitch app that fetched this API, and this returns it to the Glitch static site. And Glitch static sites are free and don't take up hours. So you can do the same thing on a CodePen, is like fetch something from the server. I did a stream where I imported Counting Sheep into Val, and then on Sunday, Steve, one of the co-founders of Valtown and the CEO, he updated the bot to, because we hit the character limit. There's 300 graphemes allowed in a post, so I hit that, and so he made a PR so that it would continue into replies. So in my blog post, I'll link to both of that. But you can watch both of those. So that was really cool to like, we like collaborated. And Valtown has an in-browser editor, and they also have a CLI. So far we have CodePen and Valtown with in-browser editors. Then we get, we'll do the quarterly check to see if my button down account was unsuspended. I created a new, I pay for button down, and I have 3 newsletters on it, and I created a 4th one to share in this blog post for a thing I'm about to announce and get into. But then I think like I renamed the newsletter, like it hyphenated it, and I removed the hyphens, and then all of a sudden the newsletter got suspended, and that's when I got an email saying that they suspended it, but they're going to take a look at it, but it has to be manual. And they said they'll shoot me an email once it's resolved, and that's understandable, but obnoxious. I mean, I'll just spoil it. Live Laugh Jam. I'm trying to get this to be active. It says please confirm your email address, but like it's been confirmed. Anyway, render.com. So I tried out Render for the first time last week because Val is for serverless and I need a server, especially for that presence or bugs project. So I shared that earlier. So Render was like a pretty good experience. It's a bit more advanced than Glitch. I had it deploying from a Git repo, but I didn't need to enter a credit card to try it. And much like with Glitch, the app falls asleep after inactivity and wakes up. I would say it's about the most comparable to Glitch as far as project hosting goes and payment. Not much on the community side. They do have a discourse forum, which is like, you know, like bare minimum. But you'll see there's a lot of threads that like, when you see like an active forum where over a few days, there's many threads, but a lot of them have 0, that usually can tell you that this forum is more about asking for help on specific frameworks or tools or services that you're using with the platform, and not help with the platform itself, or not sharing what people are making. In fact, the only 2 categories they have are general and announcements. So, and as up here, it says they have personalized support. This remains the best place to ask questions about specific services in your account. So not a place to share, but to like ask for folks to help out. Like, oh, I'm having an issue running this version of SQL or something like that. But yeah, so really it's just like, if you're like kind of like on your own, like for hosting, go to render.com, try it out. You can watch my stream where I went from creating a brand new account to successfully and pretty quickly migrating that WebSocket server. I think I had some like browser related issues because I use Firefox, and apparently Firefox is still vexing to a lot of software services. I'm so tired of like being treated like a niche community for using a browser that's been around for fucking ever. But whatever. If you run into issues, they have support to help out. Just don't ask in the forum. Okay. So, honorable mention, and I've not used it actively before, but plan to start to, is NeoCities. NeoCities is another blueprint for web communities. It enables static site creation in the browser. I've been on it for quite some time. This is not my oldest account. I have another account that's secret, but this is like my public one, and I think the creator had come to the Glitch office for like lunch, and that's when I created it. Really cool people, really great movement. This is a really good solution for two things. Like, if you just want to get a simple, cool static site up or personal site up, and you don't want to have to do it locally on your editor, like if you're like an actual like real beginner, this is great. This is about as close to like the like web 1.0, like when I was learning to build web pages in the 90s, literally on GeoCities, which this is an homage to. Creating new files, this visual drag and drop kind of thing is really cool. And you can also mount your site as a drive on your computer. And then you get a URL that automatically works. It's free. You don't have to enter a credit card to use it. You can become a supporter, which is very affordable. It gives you more storage options, custom domain support if you have a domain, which you should. But what I especially like is that they really do speak to the audience of people who have never coded before. So they have Penelope the cat, who's adorable, that walks you through making your first website. And I love that. Also cool is they have like a fire hose of like activity. So you can see like what's going on in the community. And I think a really cool thing to see is not just like that there's an active community, but you can literally like watch the community breathing. Breathing, not breeding, breathing. And so you can see like over the last half hour what's been updated. So it's not so intense, but this is like really cool. And while I have oh, I didn't even notice the tags. While I have a static option for my sites, which is importing them into glitch.com for my web wing, which I've been working on past streams. This makes me want to contribute to NeoCities more. So I can see myself making like a mirror of web wing, or like a web wing of just like specific NeoCities projects that I like. You can filter by tag. You can look at just like visually at all the cool stuff people are doing. I personally like lighter color scheme websites, as you notice from my editor. I don't know, like I just prefer light mode over like dark mode. I just find it's easier for me to enjoy looking at all this stuff on one page, whereas like CodePen has always been like a darker site. That is purely a personal preference. But I just like how visually overstimulating this could be. But yeah, so while I haven't added my own site, I would like to. So you go to neocities.org, and you can follow me. And if I have time on the stream, maybe I'll make my first like NeoCities page. Yeah. Let's see. Back to the blog. Let's see. Okay. What about community code jams? Now we get to the like why the button down suspend me. So one of my favorite things to do when I worked at Glitch was the Glitch community code jams. It was a monthly prompt, really cute page. Jesse did such a good job drawing this for me. One day I was just like, can you just like make me a graphic for the code jams before we launch it? And he came through. And every month I would come up with a prompt and the community would build stuff, and I would update this page with a playlist of all the projects. And every Friday I would stream on Glitch Jams Live on the Glitch YouTube account and share Glitch apps that I thought were really cool, share updates on what's going on in our community, blog posts that the community was writing, and then I would live code my submission to that month's jam. And that was a lot of fun. What was not fun is that when I left Fastly, the program basically died. There's no one left to do the live streams. They tried to do a jam for a month, but I don't even think they updated the jams page with that jam. So basically died with my, payroll instance there, which is not surprising, because when I left, Fastly didn't hire a new community person, and that's because they had done layoffs. And so my like head count, like when you leave a job or you're like fired or whatever, like usually like the department you're in has like a head count for another person, and it's just like a continuance of the budget to pay for you there. My head count got like laid off a few weeks after I gave my notice. I gave Fastly a long notice. And so I was pretty sure that the jams were not going to continue. But like, I didn't think too many people were bummed. I don't know, maybe it was just like I was like in my head about things. I think when you work at a place and internally you don't find that people appreciate like the stuff that you're doing, which is often typical of a company that has like over 1,000 people. They can't all care about everything that's going on in the company. That's insane. And like the people I manage, I was constantly telling them, like, just because you feel like you're not valued, like that doesn't mean that there is no value. It could be that everybody at this company is working on a bunch of different things. You can't care about literally everything. And if it gets to the point where it gets to you too much, then it's like, maybe it's like time to go. And that was largely like my signal for like me to go. But I was reading people's like memoriams to Glitch, and people are posting threads on the forum after I left being like, when's Community Code Jams coming back, blah blah blah. And I realized like, okay, like not only was this program like really impactful for me, but it was also to the rest of the community. And that was especially when I was reading Ribozone's RIP Glitch memoriam, and they thanked me for all the work I put into hosting them. And that was like really nice, because nobody outside of like our small like 5 to 6 person Glitch team in Fastly ever like thanked me for like the Glitch stuff. So to get that from the community like solicited was really nice. It just felt like I felt seen. And also like the work that I put into this Jams Live 11D site, which I'm gonna migrate over because it has lots of cool links. But I mean, I did 21 episodes, 21 live streams of different projects, had Zach Leatherman on a stream. It was really, really cool. And so Ribozone, they posted all of the projects of the jams, and I was like, first I was like, oh, like what an unnecessary loss. I think this whole Glitch shutdown thing is so unnecessary. I don't know, like, I don't know, it's just like Fastly just doesn't want to keep it going, which is like totally fair. It's kind of giving Doge to me, but like it's fine. It's an easy win for them to save some money, and that's all. I'll go to that. But there are other jams that also use Glitch a lot, like Sunday Sites. I've given a shout out to Sunday Sites a bunch of times. They, I believe, are going to start back up again. Their last one was a year ago, but they would do sessions with prompts. This was like no JavaScript, I believe. Yeah, don't use JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Just like a lot of like really great creative expression that Glitch has like enabled. I'm starting to get emotional. I'm like, is it sunscreen in my eye, or or is this making me sad? A little bit of both. But yeah, so reading that, I just kind of was like, okay, this is like really impactful to people. It was to me. And then also it was like, I don't need an enterprise content delivery platform to keep the project going on. Like, Fastly doesn't own like the idea of a code jam. There's many other kind of jams like Sunday Sites, CodePen challenges. Like, I can continue or like evolve what was going on in Glitch Community Code Jams, of course in a different name. And so while I have like a lot of stuff on my plate already, like I've been migrating on the Glitch projects, launching my first business, again, bugsrock.online, launching next week. I feel like the major way to keep me connected to code and the developer community once I run out of like glitch migration projects to live stream is to like start a community code jam program that's like free from corporate stewardship. And so what I'm trying to do is create a newsletter for people to sign up for it. But Button Down suspended my account. And that's the blocker to me publishing this blog post. So I wanted to have a link to sign up for this new newsletter and subscribe to my YouTube page because, as I said here, you can bet your ass I'm going to be live coding a submission form because we are not going to be using Google Forms. And you might have noticed as I go through my recommendations here, I try to avoid larger companies that are complicit in helping our government take part in genocide, tearing families apart, harming immigrants. And so I really want to divest myself from companies run by people that sat behind Trump at his inauguration. So if you're wondering, like, why not GitHub pages? Why are you using Nova, not VS Code? Like, they're better. Better is in the eye of the beholder of values alongside technical features. And so the stuff that I'm using here are getting the job done for me without taking away the code and making things about white supremacy, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, and stuff like that. And I should have prefixed this. I'll add it to my blog post, that caveat, because I know a lot of people have been like asking me about GitHub pages or Cloudflare, for example. And so I tend to avoid those platforms where the leaders are openly celebrating and participating in societal harms. So there's that. There's a lot of people who do not want to participate in societal harms, and they just want a web where they can build and create and express themselves. And that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna contribute to that by creating a new community space for people who are missing glitch community code jams or looking for a spot where they can express themselves with code. And so that's what I wanted to end this blog post with. And yeah, those are my recommendations. Do we think that Button Down is going to unsuspend my account? This is very... You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna remove... I think maybe I'll just... I wonder if they suspended all my other newsletters. Fucking better not have. Let's see. I've got like Button Down opened off to the side of this. So my main newsletter, that works. Let's see. Please confirm your email. I did activate it.
I did activate it.
Maybe. Danger zone. What if I deleted Okay, it won't let me delete because it's still like in moderation, which is smart. Don't let the bad guys clear their trace while you're moderating. Reopen. I want to see what the mentions and counting sheep were. Oh yeah, we hit our first reply. Oop. Let's close some of these tabs. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I should... I really want to publish this right now. You know what? Maybe I just remove this entire section. Or let me open up a new... I'm live blogging. Okay. I'm gonna check my email one more time. I wonder what I did that triggered the suspension. 'Cause I do pay for Button Down. I created a new newsletter. And then I changed the name of it by removing the hyphens. I don't know. I feel like if you've been paying for it for a bit, you wouldn't be marked as whatever. What am I doing right now? Oh yeah, email. See, this is what happens when I drink tea instead of having coffee in the afternoon. Okay. How do I want to end this? You know what? I'll put this back in. What's hers? I'll put a conclusion. See, now you're seeing the sausage getting made. Of this house. Okay, so I got my conclusion. Okay, here are those phrases. I'm not active yet. Come on, guys. Let me have my newsletter. How's everyone doing? Okay. Well, I was hoping I can publish this while on stream, but I have to figure this problem. Where's my call to action? Oh, you know why I grabbed my phone? Not just to check email, but I have to also sign up for aerial yoga tonight. Which is, it's gonna kick my ass. But sometimes you need to get your ass kicked. It's how you stay humble, you know? I'm in yoga, not frickin' button down, please. You're killing me. You're killing me. Oh my gosh. Great news, guys. Great news, Gen Nation. We have been approved. Oh gosh. Thank you. Button down. God, let me see if I can subscribe. Does it work? I don't want you all to I don't want people who want to subscribe to my jam subscribe to my regular newsletter and then get updates on robot karaoke. You know what I mean? Great timing. Click here to confirm. Wow. Huge win for Gen Nation. It works. Okay, let's we can get rid of this file. Do a final build on this. We got the official list. Cojams. Make sure all my links work. Jams, that. my YouTube. Actually, let me make sure all the links work. These are just to my old posts. Glitch. All the links are opening up. This is how you can imagine how many times I would get rate limited when I worked on Glitch. Okay. Change YouTube playlist, Glitch blog. Glitch Sport closed on July 4th. What do you mean? Community. Oh, look! If you hit the affiliate link, you get a $200 credit. That's nice. Oh, and then I'll get $25 in credit. That's very generous. It's my blog, live horse birth, challenges, my profile. Let me make sure that that was the correct CodePen posts page. Yes. Yes. Valtown, open that, showcase. You know, when Live Laugh Blog was on Glitch, if I like made a typo or just like fucked anything up, it was like no big deal, because like I could just edit it in the editor and it'll automatically be deployed. But now, like, you have to be a little bit, I feel like I have to be a little bit more precious about stuff because it takes longer to deploy. It's like a couple of minutes versus seconds. That's like a big thing that I will miss about Glitch, is the in-browser editor. Theoretically, with like DigitalOcean, because the deploys come from my GitHub repo, I can edit within GitHub. And I know that GitHub's part of Microsoft. Again, it's a process for me to divest from that. Services like Render have CLIs where you can then just like deploy from like your machine and not use GitHub. Those are things to explore. So it's a process, but cool. So we got that going. I have my name. Hosting. I guess I'll just list the services. Valtown, Render, CodePen, NeoCities, Jams. Cool. So now I have that saved and I know it's working, and so I can stage stuff. What did I do with filters? Oh, I removed a comment yesterday. Whatever. Stage all of them. Glitch alternatives post. Commit. And then we push. And yeah, so now it's up. That's being pushed to my GitHub repo for LiveF blog, straight to the main branch, and that'll trigger DigitalOcean. I'm not logged in, but you can trust me. You can trust me. And eventually it will update. Now's a good time to ask you to like and subscribe. Right now I've been streaming almost every Monday through Thursday, but if I'm launching my candle shop next week. I am gonna make this jams thing happen. I'm probably gonna move more towards, after the glitch shutdown next week, streaming like a set time once a week as like a show with a run of show like Glitch Jams Live, and then any other days I stream are just like very casual, like jump on whenever I feel like it. It might be around the same time, but who knows. But I definitely want like one day of like structure where people can like expect consistency, and then the rest is just me goofing and gabbing, you know, where it's like it's okay if I forget to post in Blue Sky or Mastodon. Like at least the people who subscribe will know that I'm like going live. You know what I mean? I need to figure out what day of the week is the best. Typically, I do Fridays. Well, typically, meaning when I was doing Glitch Jams Live, which I need to see. I wonder what's going to happen to the YouTube page. But I used to do it for about like an hour on Fridays. Our weekly live stream where we show off cool projects made in the Glitch community. Because I love this format. I've had a whole web page for it and everything. It was a lot of work, but it was like fun. App of the week, which is what we feature on the homepage. Updates from the Glitch team, the gallery. And then I would jam. This is my self-portrait app. Here we go. Now we have not ZocDoc. God, fuck off. We have a link to share of my alternatives. Great. And then I might link to this stream when it's over, if people want to follow along on that. But yeah, feel free to share. If you have questions, you can just email me directly. I respond to my emails. And yeah, I think like Friday's the 4th of July. I'll probably stream tomorrow. I would like to move some stuff over. I tried using Fly.io yesterday, but it required a credit card before even getting to do anything. And then when I had an account that did have a credit card on it, like the app broke and then got suspended and just wasn't like great onboarding for me. So I might either give that another shot or I might just start moving stuff to Render. It feels like that's the place. But I also need to think about what I want to do with my NeoCities page. So maybe I can do like, maybe I can make it a tutorial or something, I don't know, to kind of fall in line with the learning to code stuff. So yeah, well, I think it's only been an hour and a half, but I just finished my tea, one of my teas, and I should probably eat something because I can't eat like within like an hour of going to aerial yoga, because if you have a full stomach and you go upside down, well, you all learned about gravity in school, right? I'm going to deploy, well, I already deployed it. I'm going to share this on Mastodon and Blue Sky. If you go to jenschiffer.com, you can find all my contact information, links to my YouTube, which are on, Mastodon, Blue Sky, LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And you can, oh yeah, it's coming up next week. Not next week. Actually, I think we are doing a weird algorithm robot karaoke at a bar at a speakeasy next week. And then we're back at Wonderville on July 14th. So that's not this coming Tuesday, but next Tuesday. Still figuring out Jersey script, which should have been on Tuesday next week, but the venue, Hudson Hound, closed suddenly. So, not sure about that. But, and you can see my glitch apps migrated over here so far in list form, or you can activate the web wing and navigate it like a web ring. Yeah, and have fun and start coming up with ideas of what you would want to jam on, because I'll be soliciting prompt ideas. I'll be building a form for submitting stuff. Oh yeah, and I didn't watch this yet, but Word Hack, which is every month at Wonderville, which is where we do robot karaoke. Word Hack last week a couple weeks ago, did a eulogy for glitch.com and some other presentations. That's Marty, so this must be during the open projector. So if you go to Wonderville's Twitch account, you can view that. I'm going to. I didn't go because I don't like crying in front of people. That's actually a huge benefit of quitting your job and or working remote, is you don't have to cry in front of people. And so I'm looking forward to watching the video, but I couldn't bring myself to be there. Even when like you're not the reason for something going away, it's hard to not feel responsible for it. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna watch this today. And yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Again, like and subscribe at your leisure. And I'll probably see you tomorrow ahead of the 4th of July weekend if you're in the States. If you're not in the States, you'll enjoy a Friday without the Americans. So, have a good one. Peace.